This is an exciting day, not only for the city of Norwalk, but the state of Connecticut, and indeed the country, because this is a benchmark now of what can happen. People who say government doesn't work, take a look at what this is. People who say Connecticut is on the decline, or that Norwalk's not a good, desirable place to live, take a look at what we have. Connecticut is a wonderful, wonderful state. Norwalk is an amazing city. And it's a partnership like this that gives you that great feeling of being able to help others.
And what do we do as government officials, as leaders, in order to help folks live a life that is better and not put people in places that really at this point are outdated and outmoded because it's not good for families, it's not good for kids to succeed in their educational pursuits, and it sometimes produces scenarios in which you're not safe for folks in the area. And so we had this opportunity thanks to Governor Malloy, thanks to our Mayor Harry Rilling, thanks to our congressmen and our U.S. senators, and to come together as federal, state, and local partners to be able to work together to transform this area into a place where people can live in a home that is up to date, that has standards for the 21st century, not in a place where they can't even fit their families in a kitchen for an evening meal.
It really starts with an understanding that there is a ladder to climb to get to where people want to be, solidly in the middle class. And the bottom rung, or the first rung of that climb, has got to be good, decent housing. It's you know, when the cards are stacked against you, if one of those cards is that you're not able to live in a good, decent place, it really is hard to overcome. Obviously, employment and education and other steps have to be taken, but housing is fundamental to who we are and what we are, and quite frankly, how we can raise our children.
It does seem like a very long time ago that this wacky idea was out there that we should take the oldest public housing development in Connecticut, which we learned was dangerously subject to flooding, with all that implies, and gosh, maybe we could get a huge grant, as was said, you know, very, very unlikely, but here we are, and we're well underway. And I'm so thrilled about that. That was not easy, and every elected official and at the state, federal, and municipal level really worked hard. The Housing Authority in particular. Housing authorities sometimes struggle to be innovative, to develop, to change communities, and Norwalk really distinguished itself in that regard. Like every other project, we had some bumps along the way. There was delays in this, but those get overcome because people are really committed to the vision that we see developing here. I want to say one last thing. I represent Stamford, Norwalk, and Bridgeport, and all three cities are in different stages of renewal and, yes, gentrification and change. And what I love about this project, first of all, that it demonstrates that we can be good stewards of the American taxpayers' money. Those $30 million came from 325 million people around this country who decided that this was, through their representatives, a good project to do. But it shows that we can be terrific stewards, that government can really transform communities for the better when it works right. But most importantly, and this is true in all three of the cities that I represent, that we can renew and improve without leaving people behind. So that's the part that I love best, that everybody involved on the private side and on the public side was committed to making sure that a lot of folks who'd been in this neighborhood through thick and through thin stayed here, their units got replicated, and actually we created more opportunities, not just for the very fortunate, but for everybody, so that we continue to have the kind of diverse and wonderful community here in Norwalk that we all like.
This is a small version of inclusionary zoning. Something that has the ability to, you know, there's many things we do to try to affect the achievement gap, but certainly when you put people together of all different socioeconomic strata, they're all living in housing that looks alike. There's nothing that is different. It is quality for all of them. You don't have this high density of poverty. It makes a difference of just lifting up an entire community. You gave the perfect example, Senator Duff. Your kids who go to school with these same kids that have been in South Norwalk for decades, all right, guess what? They spend 5 or 6 hours in school there now. Now they're able to spend that same time here. We look at the private development that's across the street. This is such a boon for South Norwalk. It is phenomenal. This is an exciting day. As we continue to do this and if anything, replicate it to whatever best our ability is throughout the city of Norwalk and continue to do so throughout the state of Connecticut, it's fantastic.